Okay, so negative 5 times negative 10 is a positive 50. Negative 5 times 1m is negative 5m equals 130. Okay, and then what needs done?
The 50.
Minus 50 from both sides. So I got negative 5m equals, I don't know, 120?
Wait, no.
It's 80.
No.
It's 80.
80?
Yeah. Oh, I put 10, that's why.
I wrote it down. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, and then what?
Divide.
Divide both sides by negative 5. So we got m equals, what is 80 divided by negative 5?
Negative 16.
Negative 16. Okay, 31. What needs done first?
Oh, add.
Yep, we're going to combine them. So negative 4 plus 5 is going to be 1k equals 8. Then what?
Divide.
Divide by 1, and what is that going to give you?
8.
Yeah. Okay, you don't have to divide by 1, but some people do. Okay, 33. What needs done first? We're going to distribute. So 6 times 8 is 48v. 6 times 7 is 42. Equals 330. Okay, then what? Minus 42 from both sides. So I got 48v equals, what is 330 minus 42?
Wait, what?
330 minus 42.
288.
288. Okay, and then what?
Divide.
Divide by 48. Okay, what is 288 divided by 48?
6.
6? Okay, 35 through 40 are all inequalities. Okay, you will need this little part of notes. So is this an open or closed dot?
Closed.
That one's closed, and then this one is going to be an open dot. Okay, that's about all the notes that you need in order to be successful. The rest is kind of solving. Okay, so if we look at that very first one, what needs done? What is by k that should be moved? The 10. Yep, so we're going to times 10 times 10. Okay, so you're going to get k and a negative 9. Somewhere on here, maybe write yourself a note. You need to flip the sign when you times or divide by a negative. Okay, so that is an important part. Don't forget to flip the sign, God forbid, if you need to. Okay, so on the 9, is that going to be open or closed? Open. Going which way? The right.
We did solve it.
Yes, we did.
We did much better things.
Yes, we did. Negative 9 over 10 times 10 is negative 9. Do it, use your calculator. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. we supposed to multiply the 10 and 10?
Can you go back up real quick, try to see the?
Quit doing the other side.
Um,
We did, use the calculator, I'm telling you, we did.
that, wait.
Negative 9 over 10 times 10
Mm-hmm.
is negative 9.
9 times. Times
About
10.
Okay. Negative 9 over 10 times 10, that's what we did,
Mm-hmm.
is negative 9.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to multiply that.
We
the 10
did.
and 10.
Okay, 37, what needs done? Add 3 first is gonna be our first step. Okay, so I get k over 2 and a 9, 6 plus 3 is 9. And then what?
Multiply.
Multiply both sides by 2. So I get k and an 18. Okay, on the 18, is that gonna be open or closed?
Close.
Open, closed. Going which way? To the left. Okay, 39, what needs done first?
5 and 3.
Combine negative 5 and negative 3 to give me a negative 8, so we got 4 minus 8n, and a negative 4. Okay, and then what?
The 4.
Minus 4 from both sides, so I got negative 8n and a negative 8. Divide by negative 8.
So that means the sign got to flip, right?
The sign's got to flip. Okay, so it'll be going the other way. Okay, should that be open or closed?
Okay.
Open, going which way? To the left. We got about 6 left. Okay, the next one is solve by graphing. Okay, you're gonna graph the one line and then graph the other line. Okay, so line 1 starts where? At negative 1. And we're gonna go up 1 and over 3. Up 1 and over 3. Or down 1 over 3. Down 1 over 3. Okay, so line 1, you have to make all the dots you can. Okay, line 2 starts where? At positive 2. And we're going to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. Okay, and then they intersect at what? What is that intersection point?
Negative 3, negative
3, negative 2. Okay, so it goes x comma y. Okay, solve each system by elimination. Okay, who's gonna cancel, x's or y's? Who's gonna cancel, the x's or the y's? The y's. Why the y's? They're the same. Okay, now we have to figure out, do we add or subtract? Okay, so do you think we need to add them together or do the subtraction thing? We're gonna add them together. Why add? Yeah, so you're gonna add if Signs, one's positive and one's negative. Okay, subtract if signs both negative or both positive, okay? So, either way, you still add them, but you're gonna have to change all the signs on the second one if they're different, okay? So we can go ahead and add these ones together. Okay, and so 6 plus negative 7, negative 1x, negative 6y plus 6y,
0.
0, which means cancel, okay? 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay, and then what needs to happen? Divide by 1, negative 1. So we're gonna get x equals negative 9. Okay, and then what do? We gotta write down the top equation. Okay, so the top equation is what?
6x.
6x minus 6y equals 6. And instead of x, what am I putting in? Negative 9. Okay, for the x. So it's gonna look like 6 negative 9 plus 6y equals 6. And I'm doing this the really long way, but that way you have the step-by-step when you take your final. Okay? So 6 times negative 9? Negative 54 plus 6y equals 6. Then what? We're going to add 54 on both sides. Okay, so I got 6y equals 60. Divide by 6. So we get y equals 10. Okay, and then last but not least, you do have to write this as a coordinate, negative 9 comma 10. We're almost done. Okay, look at 45 is substitution. So which one is already solved for? Equation 1 or equation 2?
2.
2. Okay, because it says y equals. So we're going to plug that into the other one. So it's going to look like negative 6x minus 4. And instead of y, what am I putting?
0.
0 equals negative 24. Okay, so negative 4 times 0 is 0. So we're going to get negative 6x. You can say plus or minus 0. It does not matter. Okay, really, you don't even have to put the 0. But that way, in case yours looks a little bit different, then you have all the steps. Okay. Okay, and then you would say plus 0. Plus 0. Well, because if the number is anything other than 0, nor you would have to do all these steps. So I just want to make sure that you have them for the test. Because like this one has a 3, which means you're going to have all of these steps. Instead of a 0, it would be something else. But okay, and then you would divide both sides by negative 6. So we get x equals 4. So my coordinate is going to be 4 comma 0. Okay, for this one, we're gonna use the whole thing, for notes, okay? So we're not even, we'll talk about the question, but we're not gonna actually write down the answers. That way you have the whole thing for notes, because there's a lot of questions on just the one problem. Okay, so is it a function, yes or no? Okay, and how do we know?
If it crosses the Y line more than once.
Okay, so if we would hold our pencil up and down, and it crosses more than once at the same point in time, okay? So, some notes on here that you can write and write small, but, so your pencil should be up and down, okay? And then if it crosses more than once, it's a no, okay? Some examples of no's are gonna look like a circle, a square, a triangle, a vertical line, something that's sideways, okay? Those are all examples of no's, okay? Okay, those are all examples of no's. Okay, and again, be a grown-up. You can write down as many or as little notes as you need. Okay, I'm not forcing you to write them all, but I will not help you on your final. Okay, the domain. Which way should your pencil go for the domain? Up and down. Okay, so we're gonna go from left to right. Our pencil's gonna go up and down. We go from left to right. Okay, so if we were to look at this picture, first of all, is 47, is it a function? We're just talking about it. Yes, it is. Okay, what is the domain? Where does it start on the left?
-4.
-4. Where does it finish on the right?
5.
5. Okay, so take a second, look at your picture, that way you know. Okay, for the range, our pencil's gonna go this way, and we start from where?
Bottom.
The bottom to the top. And just so I don't forget for both of these, if there's an arrow, what does that mean?
It never ends.
It means infinity or negative infinity. Okay, so in this case, there are no arrows on here, but if there is, it means negative infinity to infinity. Okay, so the range, where does it start at the bottom? -7. Where does it finish at the top? 7. Okay, the x-intercepts, how would you describe that one?
All the points that cross over the X line.
Yep, so points on the x line. So this way, that's the x line. Okay, so it crosses the x line at -4, maybe like negative 0.5. You see them? Okay. The y-intercept is what?
Points that cross the Y line.
Yeah, it's where it crosses the y line. So points on the y line, which is the up and down line. Okay, so this one crosses at like -2, sorry. Alright, it crosses the y line at like -2. Okay, linear or non-linear? How do you know if it's linear or non-linear?
Straight.
If it's a perfectly straight line, it's what? Linear. Okay, any sort of crookedness is non-linear. Okay, so linear is gonna be like this. Okay, like this, up and down, sideways. Okay, anything else is non. Okay. Discrete or continuous? How do we know?
If it has any gaps in the line,
Okay, if it has any gaps in a line, what is it?
discrete.
It's gonna be discrete. So continuous, I can go from the start to stop, no gaps. Okay? Okay, a min. So is this one discrete or continuous? It's continuous. Is it linear or non-linear? Non-linear. Okay, a minimum. How would you explain a minimum? A low point. Okay, so it's a low point. What about a max? That's a high point. Okay. So a min is gonna be a low point. Okay, and a max is gonna be a high point. Okay, so a low point would be at, like here, this would be a min. Okay, this could be a max, and this could be a max. Okay, this could be a max, and this could be a max. You don't need to write those on there. I mean, you can if you want to, but those are maxes. Okay, this is a min. Okay, and then odd or even. Okay, extend your lines.
What?
So where the graph ends, keep drawing, like, pretend like it's still going. Okay, which way is both of them going? Down, so is that odd or even?
Even.
Okay, so evens look like, I'm gonna draw an arrow over here. So evens are gonna be both pointed down, both pointed up, both pointed left, both pointed right. Okay, odds are gonna look like the arrows are in two different directions. So one is up, one is down. Okay, or one is left and one is right. Okay, or one is right, one is left. Okay, so arrows essentially are in the same direction, or are they not? Okay, so is this odd or even? This one is even, okay? And this is what I meant, extend the line. So the line ends here. If you were to extend it, okay, same thing, you can see that they're both pointed down, okay? So you have to extend the lines.
Yeah, this took a whole queue.
No, this time we got 3 left,
Three left, okay. Oh, which is this?
because you'll do that one, I'll do this. Okay, 48, is that, one a function? 48, is it a function?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it would pass the vertical line test. And then it says, find the domain, find the range. So where does it start on the left? Negative infinity, because there's an arrow. Where does it finish on the right?
Positive infinity.
Positive infinity. Okay, the range, where does it start at the bottom? Infinity. Where does it finish at the top? Infinity. Okay, 50 you're gonna do, it's just like the one we did. I had to like put a question in between it to like break it up, otherwise they just didn't come out right on the sheet, so. Okay, so it's like the one we did with notes. So go to 51, the very back page. Go to 51. Okay, and you will need these notes.
You don't have them on the board tomorrow?
No.
I mean,
I mean, I will for like today, but I have to erase all the boards before you guys do your final, so.
Well, is that a rule?
Yeah, so I'm actually. All the other, they agreed as the department. Everyone else, you either got a note card or just one sheet of paper and you had to write all the formulas. For me, because it's finish line, I'm just gonna let everybody use the review one packet, but nothing else. So just be prepared when you guys go to the class, you get a note card or a piece of paper, so you have to write all these on a piece of paper and not use a review, but, your guys' circumstances are a little bit different, so that's what was agreed upon for the department, okay, so. Okay, so if we look at 51, where does that graph start?
-4.
At -4. And what is the slope?
2, -3.
So up 2 over 3. Okay, is that gonna be a solid line or a dotted line?
Solid line.
Is it solid?
Yeah.
Solid line. Are we gonna shade above or below?
Below.
Below. Okay, and I will gladly go back to whatever. If you're not done, that's fine. Okay, look at 53. Line 1 starts at +1, and we're gonna go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Okay, or down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Okay, solid or dotted?
Solid.
Solid line, shade above or below?
Above.
Above. Okay, line 2 starts at +3, and it's negative, so up 1 over 2 or down 1 over 2. Okay, that's my intersection point. Okay, am I gonna shade above or below? Below. Okay, and so that blue area, that's gonna be our double shaded area. Okay, the rest of the sheet is for you guys to do. Go through and get your side done.